Don't wake me up to another good morning, time to go. Yeah, I'm going for the ride and find myself, I am alive, and I soar.
Ah, the beloved E36 Touring. Yet another one we never got here in North America. Lucky us, we've just had one dropped off in our parking lot, but not without a caveat. We've been tasked with M54 swapping this broken beauty with just a 3-day time frame. Now, you may be asking, who is the proverbial us? Meet Jamie Orr. He really loves Volkswagens.
I bought a Mark 1 Polo, electric green, Mark 3, Mark 1 Rabbit pickup. So yes, it is rather fuller around here.
Jamie's love for Volkswagens knows no bounds. When it comes to BMWs, well, we'll put it this way. Jamie's experience is, shall we say, a bit limited.
Okay, I did all the righty-tighties, but how righty do I tighty?
Enter Gareth Foley, our unrivaled BMW guru. And if he looks a bit familiar to you, that's for a very good reason.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Gareth here, FCP Euro. Welcome back to their DIY video.
Gareth has helped hundreds of thousands of enthusiasts work on their beloved Bimmers, fixing them, learning about them, living and breathing everything BMW. Gareth is a living encyclopedia of BMW wisdom and know-how. There's no BMW problem he can't solve, and no BMW fact he doesn't know. Together, these two car aficionados have just 3 days to work their magic and get Jamie's broken Euro E36 Touring back on the road.
What's up, everyone? Gareth here, FCP Euro. I am joined by Jamie Orr, and we're standing in front of a BMW E36 Touring, which those were never available here, and it belongs to you.
It's all my fault.
And you're not even about BMW, so.
No, I thought it'd be fun to have a BMW project, get a little E36, everyone loves them, get a Touring, not sold here, except I bought one for cracked cylinder head.
Yes.
There's a massive crack, so you can see it's leaking out that crack. Wow, really badly.
What we've chosen to do after a long discussion is to swap that unit in right there on that pallet.
This was not a long discussion. This was like a 3-minute discussion of, hey, this sounds like it'll be fun. It'll take a day. So I guess stay tuned to decide if this was a terrible idea with us or not.
It was a long discussion on this end of what parts do we need, how are we gonna do it, and now we got 2.5 days to get it done. So,
BMWs, yay.
Enough with the intro. Let's get into doing the swap.
As Jamie and Gareth come up with a plan of attack, they're starting to realize this may have been a little bit more than initially thought. Everything has to come out. Engine, suspension, drivetrain, wiring. Yeah, it's a lot. But hey, swaps are fun, right?
We'll unbolt the transmission, drop the exhaust out. We should be able to drop it out in one piece.
Does the sway bar come out? It must do. For the
yeah,
new
we'll
one.
just unbolt the sway bar with it.
Yeah.
Since, I mean, pretty much all the suspension stuff is being replaced anyway.
Okay, so we're dropping.
Yeah, I'm going to slide a pallet
subframe.
under it with the pallet jack.
Yeah.
We already have the new engine on the subframe, so there's no need to even use that one. We'll swap over the steering rack and stuff. We can actually pull all of this out, so that's where the DME is located in these.
Okay.
So we'll just slide that whole thing out of the way too. And we'll just kind of leave it in one big pile.
Yeah.
Look at that, the wheels just gonna come right off the hub. We're off to a great start, love that. Unvented front disc. That's actually kind of wild.
I wonder if it is the same size and diameter with the pad to swap. The way that Volkswagen does it on some of them was the vented disc is thinner and the pad is thinner.
Right.
There's a good chance if we want to put new rotors on, we can't. Like these might be European market rotors that don't cross-reference with something that you have in stock.
Probably not.
A few moments later.
We can get the brake discs.
Ooh.
Here, in the warehouse.
Really?
In stock. 318 Ti
Oh, that actually makes sense.
M42 and the Z3. Cool. You know where a BFH is? Wow. Yep, that was all the brake material. Been sitting broken with me for a year. So, I suspect it's just because this car is relatively nice and clean, but a lot of these connectors are just coming undone. I'm quite impressed.
Every BMW had both the 20-pin connector in the engine bay.
Wait,
and then
what
the
did you just say?
16-pin inside.
What years?
96 to 2000.
By law, they had to have
Yes.
an inside, but Germany didn't need to,
exactly.
so they didn't.
I'm just saying, in the United States, you get both.
Yeah, because they clung
Yes.
to their own one.
Right. And also on those 96 to 2000 cars, you can't really do anything through the 16 pin port.
There's only 8 pins. They could easily have put this through an OBD port. Disconnecting it, this little pin, nice touch. Having it here in the first place, -1 point. I'm keeping track. I'm not gonna keep track. I'm talking a big game? No, I'm just trying to work and keep up.
We don't need this. This is the throttle cable. Every BMW ever dealt with the batteries in the trunk, which,
It should fit, right?
well, yeah, I mean, it'll definitely fit,
Okay.
but it's just strange to see that because I've just never seen that
But I
before.
think that's just weight distribution.
Despite the long list of items that needed to be done, under Gareth's watchful eye, the guys have everything ready to drop the engine and drivetrain.
6, 7,
7?
6.
Okay.
We're 6. I'm
Oh,
sticking
wait.
with 6.
Yeah.
We got the 2 in the back. We got the 4 underneath the subframe. Yeah.
Welcome to us arguing about how many bolts there are left. It might be 6, it might be 7. Whatever number we think it is, we're gonna have forgotten something.
Yes.
That's the rule of
there's a
dropping an
possibility.
engine. And it'll be one little wire that'll hold the entire engine up. But in theory, we think we're there.
Yep.
I'll give props as a Volkswagen Audi person. This whole firewall bulkhead with the connectors that go through for the ECU and the transmission controller, it's pretty nice. It seems like a point of failure. Do they leak through here sometimes?
No.
No? Okay. So yeah, this is pretty nice. I like that. Pretty self-contained wiring harness, which also then makes the swap harness easier.
Yep.
So I dig that. So essentially the plan is just lift the body off the drivetrain, transmission, subframe, steering rack, uprights, shocks, everything's gonna come out in one
Yep.
go. So
Yep.
let's grab the bolts and do it, I guess.
Alrighty.
And universal joint.
Yeah, we're gonna have to
Okay.
shove a screwdriver in there and open it up, and then it should start to slide off though. So, yeah, we have the opening there.
Yeah.
So we can just put a chisel through there and open it up, but that should slide off.
This looks like a funny angle. Like Volkswagen is so much more vertical,
Yep.
so they do just slide off. But cool. All right, let's lift the body and
Yep.
do some bolts. So I've got the 4 subframe bolts.
Yep.
You've got the universal joint. Just got to watch the struts don't fall out
Yep.
at some point too. But
We're clear?
yeah, go ahead. I'll just holler if I see something. Okay, it moved quite a lot.
Yep.
Yes. So you're free there.
That's gone.
Why did it move backwards?
I think because maybe the pressure's off of it.
The engine moved backwards.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
the whole thing rolled. Go
Yep.
ahead. Go ahead. Yep. Okay, hold it there.
Yep. Let's do one more check underneath.
We got
Everything-
transmission's clear on my side.
Yep.
AC is clear. Mom, I helped.
All right. I'm only gonna bring it up high enough to get past the engine so we can wheel it out.
Yep, go ahead.
Do it up.
Okay, it is moving, but no, we're okay.
It seems to have
Yep.
stabilized.
All right, I'm gonna go a little bit further.
Yep. JR, your strut's gonna be loose now.
I'm here. I got it.
Yep. ABS sensor.
Oh, that's still connected over there?
Yep. And it'll be one little wire that'll hold the entire engine up. If we want to retain it, drop the body down.
Yep.
Okay, that's it. That's pressure off. How do you remove one of these? Okay. Sure. Didn't really learn. He just did it, but that's fine. Now, before the internet yells at us for leaving the brake calipers hanging on the hoses, I already made the comment we're going to be replacing the hoses, so it was determined that
They look kind of iffy.
to heck with it.
Yep.
But I would never support. Do not do as we do.
Nope.
Support your brake
Unless you
caliper.
plan on replacing them.
But even then, I feel like it's putting a lot of pressure on the like.
It's all right.
fine, sure.
It's okay.
Teeny tiny baby.
We discussed it and already commented, so you don't have to.
So we gotta swap the sway bar over, the steering rack,
Uprights.
the uprights, which those just unbolt off, which is nice and easy.
But we gotta do the
Baller joint.
ball joints on the tie rods. So we got a decent amount there.
Yep.
Steering rack needs to come off of this. And then we're almost done harvesting stuff from it. I didn't think that the bearings or hubs were bad, but I see that we have hubs and bearings on the pile. So we're gonna be putting those on.
Well, yeah, so basically
Just
you
two-
have the...
two bolts going to these little,
Exactly.
that's it.
Yep.
Wild. Do people
And ironically enough, that is not a weak point on the
really?
these subframes. The
That was
weak
gonna be my
point,
question.
the weak point is going to be the engine pocket, just
Uh-huh.
because it's a single piece of steel that's been folded over, like it's dyed or whatever, and then it's welded on.
Yeah.
And then the other weak area, particularly on heavy duty applications, racing, stuff like that, would be the actual sleeve that's
Yeah.
welded to the ball joint pocket. These have been known to get ripped out. So there's reinforcements out there. You just weld a plate on top, weld a plate underneath, and then box it in basically. But the steering rack has never been a weak point.
On Volkswagen, it has like two great big long bolts that have a big clamp system, and it clamps the whole thing into the middle of the subframe. Where this just seems like it's like floating off of two little metal tabs.
It'll all bolt up, right? Not exactly. It's a process of figuring out one thing at a time, and some of the items that came off need to also be swapped back over in order to make it all come together.
So first time doing one of these.
That's how we do it in DIYs. Isn't that sick?
Well, it wasn't spectacularly pulling the wall. Wow, that really did come off easy.
Now, the only thing is it usually
left
leaves
the
that in a
race.
race, which
Oh,
is
sure.
fine.
Volkswagens don't leave the race. Oh, hey, look.
Or, yeah, you can do that too.
Or you just, yeah.
Yeah, that works.
Hey, that almost did come off with it.
It did.
That was as good as. Okay, I did all the righty-tighties, but how righty do I tighty?
Is it tight?
I made the camera guy laugh. That's like,
I mean, like, you can't turn anymore, right?
I mean, I can, but I mean,
you're
it's,
bottomed out.
Sure.
Yeah, you're done.
I feel like BMW.
Because here's the other thing, right? Because that's just to get the bearing seated. When you install the retaining nuts
Sure.
for it, that 100% sends it the rest of the way. You know, like no matter what.
Some German engineer is just shaking right now.
Oh no.
It's like, this is a disturbance. No, I agree.
Yeah. I mean, that's just to get it seated without
Sure.
damaging the bearing, you know. So on the E46, the fuel pressure regulator is part of the fuel filter. So we have an in and a return. So the return comes from the fuel filter on this setup. And we have two lines that go all the way up because that 318i and also all the E36 is the returner at the fuel rail. So you can have a line that goes up the fuel rail and then out of the fuel rail, the return line comes back. But because on the later cars, they decided to do the return at the fuel filter, we're just thinking plumbing. So kind of pre-planning what to do. The best solution is going to be to chop the return line here and flare it, and then just run the short rubber hose to it. I'd say that's the best case scenario. So
I'll give BMW some props. It looks the same thing. The packaging
Yeah.
for the filters are identical. So essentially,
that's
we
literally-
unbolt it.
yeah.
We bolt the other one on. So that's great
Yep.
news. It's even cleaner for the engine bay because there's only one line.
Yep.
So any normal person not being overly sensitive would just cut it.
Yep.
Cut the metal line. It goes into, if you come up close here, you'll be able to see it. There's a little rubber line already connecting two barb connections here, with just two little ring clamps, hose clamps on it. So the factory's already done this. The only difference is the original one is flared. This one we're going to cut, and it won't be flared, so we can either add a little flare by whatever method we want, or kind of a DIY trick is you just make the hose longer, put two clamps on them at different angles. It's not going to leak. This is the new one, M54B30. I think I've learned it by now.
You have.
It's only taken the whole day.
Yeah, so what was left of the M43 is out, and all the front suspension is off. Everything all the way to the rear subframe has been removed, including what was left of the automatic shifter inside the car. So we removed most of what was originally this car from this car. And now we're pretty much ready to start tomorrow running by getting the engine in. There's a couple of things we're gonna have to do probably overnight. Some cleanup in the engine bay, because we know that everybody would scream if we simply just put this engine in a dirty engine bay. So we're gonna do some scrubbing off camera. But past that, got a lot done today, and we're gonna hit the ground running first thing tomorrow morning.
So tomorrow, yeah, it goes in, normal swap stuff, hoses, everything like that. But hey, from my perspective, everything was exactly as, things bolt up. Like the carrier was the same as a Volkswagen. There wasn't anything difficult there. Yeah, we kind of talked about it. The universal joint, that was a surprise for the angle, and it's so easy in a Volkswagen to never think about it. So yeah, both as working, I think it was great. As far as work left, what do you think? Will we finish on day 2?
I mean, we'll definitely have the engine in. I think we'll have all the cooling system hooked up. Fuel system, we should definitely have done by tomorrow. Yeah, I think we'll be in a good place by the end of the day tomorrow. And then obviously there's all the suspension related stuff that still needs to be done, the brakes,
Tires, everything else. Okay.
But we still got 2 full days left.
All right, so day 3. I'm feeling good on day 3 then.
Yeah, I think we'll be in a good place.